Joining me to discuss this further is a foreign policy analyst, Bolu Michael B. Hello, Bolu. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, now, Bolu, it's assumed that the amnesty law that freed Sonko and Faye was intended to ease tensions, but we see Sonko still speaking of justice for those who are currently in power. Now, how might this rhetoric and potential future actions impact Senegal's internal political climate?
Well, I think, clamoring for justice was expected of anybody that has been to jail and is coming out and feels like he's been wrongfully jailed. But then when we look at it, the justice is talking about is what the supporters and everybody else, that empathizes with him has been clamoring for even while he was in jail. So I feel like, that being said, there probably wouldn't be any particular difference, from what we are seeing right now, whether I made the statement or not, in terms of what the political situation is like right now in Senegal. What's important is for the government to ensure as much as possible that whatsoever is making the people or someone like Sonko to clamor for justice is legitimate and they are not acting arbitrarily.
Okay. Now, we saw that immediately after he released, he was released, they organized a press conference. How do you think that Sonko's continued influence, despite qualification, will impact the overall stability of the election process?
Okay, we're seeing young people coming out to really support, Sonko and Faye. However, the most popular person prior to election doesn't necessarily become the winner. In fact, most cases they are most likely not going to be the winner. Popularity doesn't translate to electoral votes most of the time. And the fact that young people are supporting him in a case of an electoral loss scenario, there are chances that these young people that we're seeing protesting before election may protest after election as well. So it's important that in a situation whereby there's a form of political instability, that Sonko and Faye call their supporters to order and ensure as much as possible that it's not attracting the Senegal is not attracting negative attention from the international community.
All right, now, Bolu, talking about attracting negative, attention, the outgoing president's last-minute election postponement, did spark unrest. How would you say, or how do you think that Senegal would ensure a free and fair and also a transparent election in this time to maintain international confidence in its democratic process?
Okay, yeah, the good thing is that Senegal has maintained a very positive reputation hitherto in terms of political stability, and I think President Macky Sall has, finally come to terms with the reality and accepted the fact that he's going to be leaving office. And I believe he wants to leave a positive legacy behind. And we are seeing that in the release of Sonko. So for him to ensure that, he leaves a positive legacy behind, it's important for him to ensure that the elections are well observed, that people, come out and they're not intimidated. They vote freely and fairly. And lastly, that elections results are announced on time.
All right, so just before we let you go, Bolu, now Senegal is a key U.S. partner in West Africa, right? How do you think a potential victory by Faye with his focus on renegotiating contracts impact U.S.-Senegal relations, and what strategies could be employed to maintain this crucial partnership?
Well, I'll say the strategy is not to renegotiate contracts, because these are contracts that has been there since the time immemorial. They take a lot of time to negotiate, and I feel it shouldn't even be something that's part of the manifesto. It should be something that comes ordinary in the course of governance, and that may show some level of naivety in terms of the experience or exposure, or political governance or political exposure of Faye as a candidate. I honestly don't see, him winning, to be honest, because the people that he's contesting against are not winners in Senegalese politics. We have people like Idrissa Seck, and this Khalifa Sal. It's going to be a tough one. Our best bet would probably be a runoff at the end of the day. So I do not see him actually winning. So I can't really place him in a position whereby his negotiation contract, that's going to be very difficult for him to do. And I don't think that's something that would one can even get done, as a early victory or early win, political victory in any way.
All right. Well, thank you so much, foreign policy analyst Bolu Michael B, for joining me at this time and speaking on this.
Pleasure. Thank you.